Hey everybody, it's Jimmy and Bill. So today what we're talking about is new construction. This was a cool article.
Okay.
High mortgage rates are finally hitting new home construction as builders are pulling back on projects. So here's what's happening in Florida from what I'm noticing, because I do a lot of new construction inspections. They are pulling back on those big houses.
Right.
Okay. But they're starting new projects that weren't planned for a long time.
Right. There's a lot of new projects happening.
Now, where you are, Wesley Chapel, which is towards the middle, way far off from the water, like in a horrible
like
location. Hours from the water.
Hours from the water.
I keep telling them to move back closer to the water, but anyways, they're building a lot there.
Yeah, I mean, Wesley Chapel is insane with building. Wesley Chapel, Zephyr Hills, you know, Dade City, all that stuff. We have a lot of growth going there, and even going north, you know, into the Brooksville area and Hernando County. It's just, that's where there's land. There's just, you know, we've already built up the
here in Tarpon Springs, where we are along the seashore, everything's built up, every square inch.
Yeah,
pretty much. And then what isn't built up is super expensive. No builder's gonna come in here and clear it up. So go ahead, start on this article. And in the meantime, do me a favor, if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. It's muchly appreciated and it really motivates us. So thank you.
All right. The housing crisis in America is multifaceted. Prospective home buyers are reluctant to buy given sky-high mortgage rates and home prices, and for the same reason, current homeowners have shied away from selling. But there's also a massive housing crunch. The U.S. is short 3 million to 6 million homes.
Isn't that crazy? But we're short 3 to 6 million homes, but at the same time, the average person can't afford a new home.
Right.
So if you produce 3 to 6 million homes tomorrow, okay, say boom, here's $3 to $6 million, you know, 3 to 6 million homes. Okay, they're each 500,000. With today's interest rates, nobody could afford them.
Right. So it'll be interesting. I haven't read this article yet. I didn't pre-read this. So
no, I didn't pre-read it either.
I'm thinking.
But,
yep.
So this is an interesting thing. I went, you know, because I do new construction, like I just said. I went there and they had listed one home because I wanted to look and see if it was on Zillow, see if it was on MLS, and it was. So, but then I went there and I'm like, okay, where's the house for sale? And there's actually 12 of them lined up for sale. I'm like, what is that, ghost inventory? Okay. So basically they don't want to show, you know, how many houses are for sale. So I'm like, boy, there's a lot of empty houses here for sale. But the problem is, those houses were the remnants of the expensive houses.
Oh, okay.
And with interest rates, they can't sell them, so that's why.
Okay, because I was going to ask you, were those just houses in different phases of finishing, you know? They just got dried in and they're in different phases?
No, they're pretty much all done, but the whole thing is, the sales manager there told me, it's like, hey, a lot of people are backing out of contracts.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is kind of, that's why I wanted to see what went on with this article before we jump too far ahead, but that's what I kind of see happening, is at least in our area.
Yeah, we're probably saying everything that's in the article.
But let's just talk about it, then we'll just, you know.
We'll say, yeah, we talked about it already.
Yeah, you know, so let me read the rest of it here real quick, because I think we're jumping ahead.
I think so too. It's exciting subject since we do it every day.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, there's been a slowdown in both single family and multifamily housing construction, according to the U.S. Census Bureau data issued Tuesday. Indeed, single family starts fell in March. Builders are beginning to anticipate that mortgage rates will likely remain elevated for much longer than previously thought, according to Zillow. As of Wednesday, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate was at a 5-month high at 7.43. This is one of the biggest one-month drop in new home construction since April 21, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Now, this article is a little bit old, like in the realm of like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's like a week old, but
you know, so
I mean, rates are going up.
Yeah, I mean, we know rates went up. So this kind of, I think this article came out when the Fed had their meeting.
And a lot of builders, you know, were doing buy downs, but that costs so much money, you know. And if you're trying to buy down a rate from, say, 8%, say it hits 8, buy down to like the 6s, that's going to cost them a fortune. You know? And so builders' hands are tied. A number of factors have contributed to slowing new construction numbers. Industry experts agree. And it doesn't all have to do with the consumers. There are several market factors that have forced builders to pump the brakes on new builds, obviously. And it depends on the location too, because
It does.
it's really location based. While we're experiencing a housing supply shortage, the fact is, with high mortgage rates and uncertain job market, many want to purchase homes simply can't do so. Ryan Hoover, CEO of Seed Civil Engineer, who specializes in new home construction, tells Fortune, some of the builders' perspective, it makes little economic sense to ramp up construction on homes that won't be sold in the near future. What's more, material costs are rising again, and lumber tax is expected to go up this summer, he says. It's true. I didn't know about the lumber.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's interesting.
But actually, I kind of do, because I'm building that thing in my garage, and I went to got a couple of sheets of plywood, and it was like $35, $40.
Yeah,
that's expensive.
I mean, it's...
I know they get it cheaper.
Cost of goods has gone through the roof for everything. We know that. We've been talking about that for a while.
So maybe, you know, because if it costs them, they have to make a profit.
Of course.
So if they have to buy down the rate, do the marketing in the house, you know, just the cost of building it.
Yep,
labor, everything. They have to sell. Say they have to sell the house for $600,000, you know, and still make money. They're a numbers company, you know. They're numbers.
I mean, there's houses that are less expensive than that, particularly in our area, because, well, we're probably again jumping ahead, but it's hard not to talk about this. So, like, we do, like, just because starts are slow doesn't necessarily mean that we're not building. That's one thing I don't want everybody to, you know, like that pendulum to swing so far to the other side, you know, and panic, go, oh, we're not building anymore, the rates are... No, we are still building. There's tons of starts. I can only speak to our area.
No, Texas is building too. I think Texas was number one in building.
Okay, and then Florida's probably
number two
at least in our area. So I mean, because we have so many starts, but we flip-flopped what was starting. I know that there was a project slated down from my neighborhood, and they postponed. I saw it going in, and I thought that was going to be further down. The actual placement was going to be further down the road, but they had switched. I went in and spoke with the builder's rep, and they switched which projects they were going to do, because they were going to build these really, really, really expensive houses, and they put that on hold for a few years. Yeah, I don't blame them. You know, it's also more difficult for builders to find more affordable financing options for new builds. Yep,
it's true. A guy named Corey said that. A team heads up with real estate agent with Compass who focuses on new construction tells Fortune. And there's less land available to buy for new construction in the recent years, which is prompting more builders to buy and tear down existing homes, she adds. Okay, in Florida, we still have plenty, like, I'm serious. I don't know if you guys some of you are not from Florida or never visited Florida. But if you leave here and like hit Wesley Chapel, I'm kidding, right after Wesley Chapel.
Yeah, if you get outside of Wesley Chapel, it's
like land over land. Like, Florida has a lot of land.
Yeah.
Is it good land? I have no idea.
We're hardly built out, let's just put it that way. We're not even close.
Yeah, so there's plenty of places to build in Florida, and I'm sure the size of Texas, there's plenty of places in Texas to build too. But go ahead.
Single-family housing starts are slowing, but they're still 21.2% higher than last year's pace, according to Zillow. Multifamily builds are faring worse. Construction on builds with at least 5 units decreased by 20.7% in March and 43.7% from the previous year, according to the analysis. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're still up.
Yeah, and then, I mean, it just, you know, multifamily, I get it. You know, people want, we're single family home short. At least, and I mean, I know we've got roughly 26 new multifamily, more rental units going up in the greater Wesley Chapel area. You know, in the surrounding area, Wesley Chapel's pretty big. And some of that is kind of going with the infrastructure that's coming in, the extra hospitals, the schools, because they're starting to ramp up a lot because we're growing.
Okay, falling construction numbers will have both long and short-term effects on the housing market. In immediate term, lower construction numbers mean lower inventory levels, preventing the drop in home prices that buyers are clamoring for. I think there's going to be more houses on the market because they're staying on the market longer. So
yeah,
I think inventory is increasing. Like I see inventory increasing here, and a lot of it is because people overpriced the house at the beginning. If they priced it right, I think it would sell pretty fast.
Right.
You know,
I agree.
since the start of the pandemic, home prices have skyrocketed, which makes it exceedingly difficult for new buyers to break into the market. It's true. I don't even know how, you know, first-time buyers are doing it. I have no idea.
No idea.
So, like the house that we went to before, that I was telling you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, their mortgage payment is, they told me it was almost $6,000 a month.
Oh my God.
I was like, you can rent a nice freaking hotel, you know, and have everybody clean your room and do everything.
Yeah, holy smokes.
Indeed, the stock of existing homes available for sale remained 36% below pandemic level. 36% below pandemic level. And home values increased faster this month when compared to March 2023, according to Zillow. So, 36, we're still, I thought we're getting close to pre-pandemic levels on housing. I didn't realize it was 36%.
On inventory?
Yeah.
We're getting there.
That sounds pretty high.
It does sound high. We're getting there. I mean,
it's according to Zillow, but
you know, and again, these are statistics, so statistics can be kind of, you know, so like we try to, like when I run numbers, I try to pull from the same data sources, so at least my stuff is consistent.
yeah,
it's tough.
it's like, hey, you know, like inflation is coming in at 3.6, you know, so we're getting better, but when nobody's looking, hey, we revised it really quick.
Yeah,
it's really 4, but shh. Go ahead.
Slowing construction will also impact local labor markets as fewer projects get started. Ryan Reish, real estate developer and chief economist for chief officer of Mountain Shore Properties, tells Fortune. In other words, fewer new projects means fewer construction jobs. Longer term, when demand finally does pick up from lower interest rates or the slow rollover of existing mortgages to higher rated mortgages, it will put upward pressure on prices as it takes several years for housing supply to come online and meet demand, Rishi says. So, yeah, I just don't, I get it. Like nationally, things are slow. So it's gonna be dependent on your market. I just don't see it here. That's the thing, I just don't see it here. We still have a lot of starts happening.
Yeah, but I don't know why they're starting, because like I was telling you before, ghost inventory, like I saw 1 on MLS, but I went there and it was literally 12 for sale.
Yeah, they usually just put 1 on, I've seen it where they'll put 1 on the MLS and just, that's the model per se. And then the rest of them are what's actually for sale. You have options to buy the model, obviously, but. Yeah,
but now they're saying like, okay, incentives is a big fancy word for discounts, you know, because to combat a high mortgage rate, builders have sweetened incentives, but it's just a fancy word for discounts. So I agree with that.
Yep.
You know, what we're seeing on the front is that with the creating competitive advantage for a new home market, Senior Vice President of Research for John Bird's Research and Consulting previously told Fortune, the mortgage rate buy down and the industry term for discount mortgage rates is the most desired and most effective incentive offered on new home builds. It's true, but they're getting expensive. There's only so much they can buy down. If it reaches, you know, 8%, 8-9%, forget about it.
Well, if we get there, it's, you know, we could get into this whole if thing, but at the end of the day, they still do. When you're comparing going to resale versus new construction, if you've got new construction in your area, it's making it very competitive to buy new construction. It's hard because, that 1-2% maybe is a big deal.
Yeah.
And you're getting a new house. And your price point is right about the same.
You know, we're going to do an article about the Nar lawsuit, but this has videos, nothing to do about it, but how that's going to be incentivizing a lot of people buying new construction.
We'll see. There were some changes in that, so.
I know about the Justice Department.
We'll see. Everybody thinks this thing's going to be over, but that's why we're hesitant to do these videos about the Nar lawsuit, because it is so fresh right now.
Yeah, and it's the Justice Department is having some issues from what I understand. What's more, 22% of builders cut their prices this month, according to Zillow, further sweetening the pot for buyers. The average price cut for a new build is 6%, but some buyers, that's still not enough. Long term, there'll be a shift in alternative housing solution, Hoover says. One of this firm has seen increased requests in design shipping containers. People moving this, come on.
Hey,
Which indicates me that the buyers are looking for alternative traditional homes. Okay, we're not gonna go into tiny homes and shipping containers and all that stuff.
Although Wesley Chapel does have an area called Crate that was made out of shipping containers.
Get out of here.
No, I'm dead serious. They don't. It doesn't look like shipping containers when they were done, but I saw them bringing all these containers.
All right, we're
in.
gonna do a video on that because I want to see it.
It's pretty cool because what I loved about it is they're obviously the shape of a shipping container, but they don't look like it. But they're all small, local owned businesses in it.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. It's good. I love to see when I walk in. I know they live down the street. I think that's pretty cool.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
But on to the construction side of things, don't take this video to the National.
No.
Look at where you're gonna live.
Yeah, each area is.
We are insane with new construction right
Yeah,
now.
like some areas in some states, you know, they're like, oh wow, this development's being built to 60 homes, and then we have some in here, it's like 2,000 homes. You know.
2,000. That's on one street.
Yeah.
We've got one that's got slated for 38,000 homes. They've already started building.
Yeah.
It's centered around a new research hospital because we're a big medical training facility area here in Tampa. So there's a lot of infrastructure going in. That's why it's drawing in a lot of people in our area.
Yeah.
And this is big business. It's not going to go away. Healthcare is not going to go away.
All right, we don't want to drag this video on too long. So do me a favor, consider subscribing. It really motivates us. And I greatly appreciate you watching this video. Comment below, and we'll talk to you on the next one.
See you on the next one. Thanks.
Thanks, bye.